What up, y'all? It's your man, Abuamerican. Haven't done one of these videos where I just, rant on about a particular topic in a long time. So I decided to do this one because I saw a tweet by user Porkchop Express. And in that tweet, Porkchop was talking about marriage and, how people are no longer getting married and the mentality of it doesn't make sense to get married. And they're right. It doesn't make sense, and I'll explain why. And although I'm not okay with that mentality, the logic is sound. And I took notes because I haven't done these videos in a while, so and I hate taking notes because it always comes off it's like scripted and funky. Anyway, let me get into this. So, this whole thing with marriage and the end of marriage has to do with the West's constant and consistent war against religion. And if you have paid attention, you know, the West has been warring against their own religion, Christianity, for quite some time, to the point that now you find on Netflix they're mocking Jesus, Isa alayhi salam, uh, making him like some gay guy or something. I mean, it's really been a consistent and constant war against religion in general in the West. Now, when we look at marriage wasn't always a legal thing. It has always been a religious thing. And with the religious connection to marriage came morality and ethics and virtues and values. That was the connection between marriage and religion. Religion basically regulated the rules of marriage and how people are to conduct themselves within it, based upon divine revelation and religious rules and laws. And yeah, with fidelity, infidelity, all of these type of things of how the people are supposed to behave. Um, the morality that came with religion. When you remove religion from your society, and thus the connected morality and ethics and values and whatnot, what's left behind? The government version of marriage. Now, the government version of marriage is just a business transaction. The government found a new revenue source, and so you pay your marriage license. And it doesn't make sense because you get a marriage license or certificate or whatever else, and you've really done nothing for it. I mean, generally, a marriage license. What's with the word license? If you get a pilot license, you go to school. If you get a driver's license, you go to school. Whatever, if you get a medical license, you go to school. If you get a certificate, you do some sort of educational course. But a marriage certificate or a marriage license is just sold to you. So it's kind of, you see, it's just a business thing for the government. There's no morality or whatnot connected to it. And the morality that was connected to it were religious rules, like the rules of fidelity or infidelity and all these types of things that are given as government reasons as to why you can seek a divorce. Now, here's the thing. The government started changing the rules and the laws. Now we have no fault divorce. People can cheat. It's not really totally a grounds for divorce. And even if you do cheat as a woman, you can still get divorced and divorce rape your man, even though you're the one who cheated, because you can say he was emotionally abusive, something which is totally, unprovable. But anyway, I'm going on a rant. But anyway, the point and the fact of the matter is the morality has been removed and the business aspect is what's remained. And as we see, the divorce industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry that has come up around and surrounding the marriage industry and the divorce industry, the marriage and divorce business. Let's call it that, what it is. The more that religion has moved out of it. So we see that religion has left marriage in the West, and it became a business transaction for the government. And when it became a business transaction for the government, well, of course, the civilian world, what did they do? They capitalized on this new business, this new market, and it's a massive market. So, what does that leave us with? It leaves us with the business of marriage. Let me ask you, since when have men, in our logic and rationale, in the harsh way that we see the world in black and white in numbers and figures, generally made bad business deals? If there's no guarantees, Like there were in the past where it was very difficult to get a divorce. The Catholic Church just recently like made it okay. Um, divorce was like very difficult to get back in the past, and infidelity was dealt with extreme harshness. And now we see with DNA testing and whatnot, the extreme harsh punishments that came with infidelity, especially for women. It's always been like that for women, but generally the consequences have been more for women than men because, well, we know. I mean, children and all this stuff, provable DNA, whether it's your kid or not, this, that, the other. The men want to guarantee that the children that come out of a marriage are his. A guy doesn't want to be raising someone else's child thinking it's his. So the consequences have always been higher for women for cheating because of the opportunity and the chance for her to potentially do that to a man, because that's a lifelong cost. And that's always been the case. It's been a lifelong cost in the past, and it's a lifelong cost to this day. But it's a little bit easier because we have DNA tests. But now it doesn't make sense anymore with DNA tests. Well, it does, but when you remove the harsh punishments and consequences that religion brought, like in Germany, you can't legally get a DNA test done for a kid here, not without the mother's permission. If she's not going to cooperate, and she probably won't because she probably knows the kid isn't the guy's. If she's not going to cooperate, there's nothing you can really do. A matter of fact, German law states that I, as a black man, if I marry a black woman and the kid comes out looking Chinese white and there's no trace of black on him whatsoever, or no, that's a little bit more, because let's switch it around. If you're two white people and your kid comes out black, that's not grounds for proving infidelity in Germany. And you're legally obligated to take care of that kid, despite the fact that he might come out with like Asian style eyes, black skin, looking nothing like the father, very little like the mother, obviously mixed, even though the parents aren't. According to German law, the business, the non-religious connected marriage, that is not grounds to prove that the woman has been out running the streets, infidelic. Anyway, she that she was cheating. I'm trying to find a way to change infidelity to work in this sentence and I can't figure it out. So anyway, it's a bad business deal for men, and men aren't going to make that deal. It doesn't make sense for a man to get married. So in that regard, I can understand entirely why marriage is falling to the wayside and why men don't want to get married, why they're willing to have, children with women out of wedlock and have live-in partners, even though that's now starting to turn, have like similar consequences to getting married, because it's a business. It has nothing to do with partnership. It has nothing to do with religious vows and beliefs and love and honor and dignity and the things that came connected with religion. It has everything to do with money for the government and the industries that rise up around them. So even then, that's turning into a problematic situation for men. But in general, it doesn't make sense for men to go out and want to get married. It doesn't. Because there's no benefit. What is the benefit? And a man wants, let there be no mistake, and I'm talking in general to everyone, but in specific, Porkchop, you have to give me the express benefit to a man for getting married. Legally, there is none. It's all threat and danger. There's Rich Cooper said it just today. I think I saw it. He said, there's no guarantee that a woman's going to wreck your life if you marry her, but every woman you marry has the opportunity to wreck your life. That's a really dangerous business deal, and men aren't known for making bad business deals. We're actually known for the opposite, making very good business deals and becoming very rich and whatever else that comes with it. So why would marriage be any different? It just doesn't make sense. Now, with that said, from the Islamic standpoint, I always say men should get Islamically married, religiously married, but not legally. Because Islamically, at least for us Muslims, we take our religion seriously still. We don't tolerate people disrespecting our religion. The extremists from amongst the Muslims will attack non-Muslims in terrorist attacks if they attack the religion. And within the religion, the non-extremists, what are they going to do? They're going to shun, they're going to shame, they're going to, excommunicate, for lack of a better term. We're going to basically kick people out of our communities, not actively, but basically if you show up and we know who you are, it's like, man, don't anybody deal with that dude. or that girl, that's how you're going to be treated by Muslims in our community if you disrespect our religion. So we take our religion seriously. So I say Muslims should get religiously married because there are consequences for both the man and the woman, but not legally because there's no benefit to it. So I understand what you're saying, Porkchop, but you're saying it from the position of a woman. From the position of a man, it doesn't make any sense at all. It provides no benefit to us whatsoever. For a woman, there's a ton of benefits for getting married, but for a man, it's only trouble. Anyway, that's the Abuamerican take. It's your man, Abuamerican. Catch me on Twitter at Abuamerican. If I get banned there, you can catch me on my website at abuamerican.com, and I'll have information there if I get banned on how you can find me. I'm out.